A lot of times in flight, we experience a lot of turbulence, but there's still procedures that we have to do, regardless of the turbulence. So we can ask our pilot to go up to smoother air, and if that's not possible and they would need, say, a second IV, then we have to manage that. You can see how cramped our space is here. We just work in tiny little areas, and this is our IV drawer and our IV start kits. So if that were the case, where we had a lot of turbulence, we'd do what we can to hold her arm if she couldn't hold her arm for herself. So I'd probably like make her put it between my legs or in the other, our paramedics' legs, and then we would start an IV on her right there. I did ER for 17 years, and I decided to get into flight nursing back in 2012. What better job than to be out and flying? You know, most emergency rooms that you work at, they are closed off and no windows, and so it's a pretty great thing every day to be up in the clouds and in the sky and still being able to do what you love. No day is the same. We could probably fly just to New Mexico. We could fly to California. We just took a flight from LA to Cleveland. We can do long distance flights, and we take care of some pretty sick patients. So one of the biggest things that we get asked is how we load and unload patients in the aircraft. So Colette and I and the rest of our group, and Steve is our pilot, and we're going to show you exactly how we move patients in and out of the aircraft. You want to give yourself a hug. Oh. Big hug. There you go. Ready?
Yep.
On my count. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Sorry, staying ahead. There's your shade. There we go.
Ready? 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
And
there you go.
I didn't know all this was going to happen.
There you
all
go.
right. That is how you load a patient into the aircraft. You have to be creative with your care in a situation like this because you have different elements that you have to work under. Riding in the back of ambulances to get to and from hospitals. Occasionally your plane could freeze to the ground. Like if you get motion sickness easy, then it's probably not the job for you because there's a lot of different variables. You know, you may not have certain tools to do things, and so you get creative with tape or straps. Well, if we think that there's going to be fluids, we have an actual mat that we lay down that hopefully can collect some of that on top of the no, and it's an actual on the stretcher, and it has pockets in it that we can collect fluids. Mm-hmm.
How do you guys deal with the smell?
That you can't get around. I picked up a burn patient one time, and the smell of burnt hair was in the plane for weeks.
Yeah,
it's just sometimes there's just nothing you can do. You just have to deal with it. Sometimes, you know, we'll take the kids somewhere, or we'll fly to Sedona for lunch. We went to Kansas City recently and saw my friends for the weekend. I think it's pretty great that he's always been a pilot and had such a love for flying, and then I became a flight nurse, and now he's becoming a little bit part of the medical field because he's delivering blood for Flight for Life. I think that it just kind of adds one more reason of why we enjoy each other so much, because it's one more thing that I think adds to the things that we love to do outside of our jobs. You know, everybody talks about how hard the job is and how hard it is, emergency medicine. You see all the trauma or all the sickness and all the things that are just maybe not fair. And I think it's just always a great reminder for me to live life really to the fullest with my family and to not ever forget to let them know that I love them.